The Financial Survival Network, helping you to survive and thrive in the new economy. Get your free financial survival toolkit and find out where to buy gold and silver safely at great prices. Sign up at financialsurvivalnetwork.com. This is the Financial Survival Network.
1490 WGCH. This is Kerry Lutz, and you're listening to the Financial Survival Network, which is brought to you by Miles Franklin. They've been in business selling gold since 1990, and I'm a customer because when you buy, they ship. To find out more, go to milesfranklin.com or call them at 800-822-8080 and get a free quote.
We are here live at Freedom Fest 2012 in the scorched but now wet desert. It's been raining today, if you can believe it, first time in months. And I'm with John Schmidt. He's professional pool player, the champion of the 2006 U.S. Open. And we're talking about how shooting pool is a lot like investing in the market. Hey, John, welcome to the FinancialSurvivalNetwork.com.
Hi, Kerry. Thanks for having me.
You've been playing professionally for quite a while. Tell us, how did you get started in this?
Well, I got started in pool, at about 18 years old. I've been a competitor like anybody. I liked, racing BMX and playing Little League and playing golf, and I found pool fascinating. I like the competitive aspect of it. One day turns into two. You're trying to be the best player in the pool room, and then the best player in the city, then the state, then the world. Here I am 15 years later, fortunate that I've been able to, carve a career out of it.
And make a living at it. So, pool movies, The Hustler, is that one of your favorites?
One of my favorites. They play straight pool in that movie, and that's my best game. Color of Money, I played the guy Grady Seasons. He was actually really a professional player, and he competed on tour with me for years, and fascinating character. And it's funny, you might ask, what am I doing here at Freedom Fest? I've been...
That was the next question. Well, tell us, what are you doing here at Freedom Fest, John?
It's interesting. I've been fortunate enough to win 35 times on tour, and I've taken, the money that I have accrued over that time, and I've invested it all in silver. I was living in West Virginia for a couple years, and there's some guys there that were big gold and silver bugs, and they introduced me to it. I started reading Miles Franklin, Andy Hoffman, and I literally read about an hour of his work every day for the last 2 years, and I'm fascinated with silver, the coming fiat crash. I find the whole thing mesmerizing, and a lot of my peers on tour are starting to kind of chit-chat with me about it, and they're not multimillionaires. They're trying to figure out what can they do with their money, and I'm telling them, you got to get the gold, you got to get the silver, it's real money. And, every tournament I win, or hopefully win in the future, I'm going to buy silver and gold. So.
Sounds like a really good strategy. So when you first started buying silver and you started sharing with them your prognosis, your prediction of the impending collapse of fiat currency, how did they respond?
It's not good, honestly. And obviously, I'm not an economics, major, so they think I don't know what I'm talking about. And I try to explain to them, look, pool is our expertise. People listen to us about how to play pool. You guys got to read. You got to listen to Kerry Lutz. You got to read Andy Hoffman. These are the foremost authorities on the subject, and that's what I've been reading. So I'm convinced I'm right on this. And if this is wrong, then it's going to be my biggest mistake in life. I'm convinced it's the right move to own gold and silver. It is hard to convince these guys to do it. Andy's always talking about when it happens, when everybody figures out it's time to go, it's too late for them. So.
It's too late once everybody smells the coffee. Right. So obviously got a certain philosophy. It's freedom-based. Did pool provide you with a lifestyle that gave you freedom?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've lived in motorhomes. I've traveled around the country for the last 15 years, and I'm kind of like a gypsy with a pool cue. So, it does afford me a lot of freedom, and I get to do what I want, and nobody can fire me, okay? So I'm my own boss. I like that. I'm thrilled with what I do. It's fun.
And what about the guys you're competing against? What are they like? Is it friendly camaraderie, or do you want to slit each other's throats?
Well, some of the guys are my buddies. We're golf buddies, and most of us get along, but there's friction like any competitive sport. If the fans actually knew how much friction there was between the players, they would find it quite fascinating. It's like a soap opera. But the guy I'm playing over the next 3 days, this one-on-one match, we're actually pretty good friends, so it'll just be a pool match, probably no punches thrown.
No punches or friendly punches,
yeah.
Right? If somebody's looking and they're really fascinated with something like pool, It's a passion, which it obviously is with you, what's the best way to pursue it?
Well, I get asked that all the time. The best way to get good at anything is to go to the best in the world. If you want to know about silver, you would read Andy Hoffman, or you would listen to Kerry Lutz. If you want to know pool, you might watch me play pool. If you want to be great at anything, you've got to be around the best. If a guy wants to be the best chess player in the world, he's going to move to Russia. Or if you want to be the best snow skier, you're not going to move to Hawaii. Okay, so you've just got to surround yourself with world champions at what you're interested in, and get yourself under pressure as often as possible.
It sounds like good advice. So of all the matches, all the tournaments you've been in, which one sticks in your mind, and do you replay that and think about all the time, whether you won or lost?
Well, the U.S. Open, of course, sticks out. It's my biggest win, but I had already won a few times on tour and established myself by that point. My biggest win that really changed my life was the Reno Open in '03. I was a relative unknown and wasn't really sure if I was good enough to compete with the best players in the world, and I went undefeated in a 200-man field, and that really kind of let me know, hey, I can do this, I can pull this off. And so that one sticks out in my mind as my first big win, and the thing that really solidified in my mind that I belonged out there. So probably the Reno Open, yeah.
What about relationships in your life? So you're traveling around a lot. It's got to be hard. I'm not just talking female, but friends in general. You kind of become this brethren on the road, right?
Well, that's funny you ask that, because what happens is I have so many acquaintances that I can't quite form a relationship with, and friends, because I'm only around them a week, once a year. But I have 500 people that I consider pretty good buddies that I really like, and they're great people, but I'm not around them enough to get to hang out with them. So that's a bummer, but I have met a lot of great people through pool and through my travels, and it's something I cherish.
Good thing. Going back to the move, The Hustler. Obviously, some of it's glorified and some of it's true. It's kind of a mixture, and it's based on a true story. What thing in there stands out most in your mind? What was the most impressive feat?
The Hustler was a great movie, and it's frightening how close that was to real life when you're out on the road playing money games, and it's quite similar to real life. And if you remember in the movie, when he says, "Give him the stake money, Willie," that was actually Willie Mosconi with the white hair. You saw the back of his head. He was a 20-time world champion, so it was neat that he was in the movie. Movies like The Color of Money is quite accurate. I mean, if you followed me around for a couple months, you'd go, wow, this is like, a mile a minute doing this stuff. So the Hustler, I think, was a great movie and quite accurate.
Well, John, good luck in the upcoming tournament, and we wish you the best, and stay free.
All right, thanks, Kerry. Thanks for having me.